أشرف الأنبياء أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. My dear respected listener, inshallah today in episode 33 we want to briefly have a look at what we call goal creating. Certain times our visions may be in such a way that the goals that we need to achieve in order to achieve that particular vision might seem to us to be so high, and for that matter we might have nothing to do about that particular goals at the moment that we are living, which I say it is wrong. Whatever our vision is, our goals that we need to achieve in order to materialize that vision, the strategy that should enable us be able to achieve that particular goal should get us something doing at the moment concerning that particular vision. So how do we do that one? If our goals are so high or seems to us to be so high, then how can we break the goals down to enable us get something now at the moment to do? Remember that grading your goals down, that is breaking your goals down to enable you be able to use the minimum resource that you have to start the process, is a sign or a virtue of gratefulness. Allah Azza wa Jal in Quran chapter 14 verse 7 tells us that لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. If we are grateful to him, he will increase us. But then if we are ungrateful, then we should remember that his punishment is very strong and is very stern. Being grateful to Allah means that we look at our current position now. What are the resources that we have at our disposal that we can make use of it in order to get that particular resource that we think we don't have to achieve that particular goal. Now, your goal is like a platform that you need certain steps to go through before you can climb and go to that particular platform. Leave that one in your mind. Try to practically calm down and look at the steps that you need to pass through. Calculate that step and climb the step one by one. Then definitely you will get to that particular platform, which is your goal, and achieve your goal. But how do you do that? Simply take a paper. When you take a paper, you need these columns on the paper: a goal column, resource column, then activity column, then time column, and then evaluation column or effectiveness column. That would have spelled the word GRATE, which means breaking something into pieces, more especially breaking food into pieces to the form that you can use them or you can eat them. The same way your goals seem to be so big for you, grate it or break it into pieces to enable you to be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal. So you look at the set of goals that you have or that you want to achieve in order to get your vision achieved. Then one of the goal or the most effective and the important goal, each of the goal, take it and look at the resources that you have, the resources that you need. You look at the resources that you need in order to materialize that particular goal. Now, in doing that one, sometimes we state so many resources. Some of them can be useful, some of them may not be useful. So take your time. Each of the resource, look at what activity are you supposed to do with that particular resource. After identifying that particular activity, then you look at the timeline that you had set for that particular vision, your time frame, and within that particular time frame, the timeline, that is each particular minute what you were supposed to do. So that particular goal, where is it within that particular timeline? So you look at the time component of that particular activity, and finally you categorize the effect. You evaluate it, the effect of this particular action or activity, and for that matter, that particular resource. That is to say that without this particular resource and without this particular activity that I'm going to do with that particular resource, can't the goal be achieved? If it is yes, definitely you need to do it. Ask yourself a second question again. Don't I have any other alternative? If it is yes, you don't have any other alternative, then you can categorize, you can evaluate that particular resource to be A. But then if you ask yourself, without it, is it possible? Is it having any alternative? If it is yes, then it means that it should be what? B. And if you don't use it at all, is it possible? If it is yes. Is it having any other alternative? If it is yes. It is only there to increase the quality. It is only there to, facilitate things. Then it means you put it as what? C. Now, doing this particular exercise for the if you go back to the resources, you realize that there are certain resources you don't have. If you don't have such a resource, it means it becomes a sub-goal for you. Take it to the goal column. And from the goal column, follow the same procedure. You keep on following until you get to a particular level that you have all the resources that you need in order to take that particular step. Then you are starting from that place. It means virtually in your mind, on the platform, that particular goal, the higher level that you've come down practically to your real level. You have moved from your ideal level to your real level. And practically with that, those resources now available at your disposal, you are now going to struggle to climb and go to your ideal level. When you make it that way, Allah Azza wa Jal is promising us that He will get us guided, and then He will ensure that He gets the rest of what? The materials. What is our hand? Identify it, recognize it with what? Breaking your goals down to get what you can do today towards your goal. And inshallah, we hope Allah Azza wa Jal will help us. Till our next episode, where we will look at implementation level of our strategies. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.